So does he just do the same thing as Salmonella does?
Well, kind of, yeah, pretty much.
I thought it was gonna be like a funny parody, like,
No, it's just a parody.
but he just does the exact same thing.
But since Salmonella decided he wanted to take a break, I guess someone had to step up, didn't they?
Oh.
No, carry on.
Never.
That's what I thought.
Never. You can't catch me slipping.
Of course.
Welcome back, guys. We're back again
Unorthodox
with another
reactions,
unorthodox
unorthodox
reaction.
intro.
This time we are back with, you guessed it, another reaction. We are reacting to
Jake Farms.
what?
It's a Salmonella parody.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Jake. Oh, okay. Oh, we haven't seen this.
Nah, this is the first time, so I can't wait. I think it's
Oh, our
his
skin
new
is
channel.
glowing, guys. The quality of the camera might not come out as good, but our skin is glowing.
But I think he's a new channel, so I'm
Ooh.
excited to see what he has.
Ooh.
Why are you making this weird? Anyway, without further ado, guys, and without freaking weirdness, let's get into it. Of course. Taiping Rebellion.
Today we're going to
Taiping.
be talking about the Taiping Rebellion. Now,
Taiping.
you've probably heard of this in your middle school days while watching lists of deadliest conflicts in human history at 3 a.m. while playing a good old game of 5-on-1 with your friends, but probably knew nothing else about it. And boy, if you
What?
thought your first internet
That's a tough
That's
game
one of
to
my
play.
favorite way of referring to that someone that I've heard.
What? 5-on-1 with your friends? I played with my friends. I played 5v1 before, but I've never played it with my friends. That's crazy. Fair play. Fair play. We always know it goes one way.
I got the show for you. This conflict is just so friggin' loony that even I have to put the disclaimer that this is oversimplified. So go read it if you can. So the story begins with a poor man named Hong Xuan who lived in a poor village in South China during the Qing dynasty. He was a Hakka, an ethnic group mostly
So
consisting
does
of
he
poor-
just do the same thing as Salmonella does?
Well, kind of, yeah, pretty much.
I thought it was gonna be like a funny parody, like,
No, it's just a parody.
but he just does the exact same thing.
But since Salmonella decided he wanted to take a break, I guess someone had to step up, didn't they?
Oh, so he carries on like telling different stories.
Yeah, but kind of just does it in the same style as
Oh,
Salmonella.
okay.
But obviously, you can't just do it without
Crediting,
him,
yeah,
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
kind of just has to do it as a parody.
poor laborers, and the empire at the time was run by the Manchus, another ethnic minority. And naturally, there were some real tensions between the two. Now, China was kind of in bad times, being smack in the
The
middle of a
implosives are
century
crazy,
of
though.
humiliation, as they now call it, with the population nearly doubling in less than a century, big famines, natural disasters, defeats by foreign powers, high taxes, massive rent, opium everywhere, corrupt
Oh, I
government,
forgot
you know,
about
small
that.
stuff like that. But luckily for Hong, he was from a wealthier family, so he got to go to school to prepare for the imperial examinations, which are a nearly impossible set of tests needed to become a Chinese
1% pass
official.
rate.
Poor Hong tried taking the exams 4 times. That's right, 4 times, failing every time.
God.
Now, like most college
Less than
students just
1%,
waiting for
that's
life
crazy.
to throw them a bone or just end them, he didn't take his failures very well. So in 1837, he just broke down and got sick for a few days. During his illness, he started having these literal fever dreams and crazy visions. Hey, you doing all right?
I am the second son of God.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Apparently, in his visions, Hong saw a divine father who he thought must be God, and a heavenly brother of his who he thought must be Jesus himself. So he takes his newfound revelation to the local missionary, Issachar Jacke Robber, to learn all he can about Christianity, having only found out about it from a pamphlet years earlier. And it went like, "So kids, in Mark chapter 19, Jesus, my big brother?" Sure. But anyways, he said that when someone wrongs you, you kill all the Manchus. The guy then straight up refuses to baptize him and Hong has to go
snap.
home. Now, I'm sure by now all of you are wondering just what's next for Hong. But luckily, Hong did what any rational person would do at that point. He gathers a bunch of Hakkas like himself, starts up a cult calling them the God-worshipping society, then fucking takes over the region of Guangxi, seizing
Dang.
all private property and establishing a proto-communist state, calling it the, get this, Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. Wow.
What?
He is just
Meaning kingdom of great peace. Oh, okay, cool.
Heavenly kingdom.
That's cute.
Wow, he is just so relatable. I hope I can be just like him one day. Yeah, me too. Slay King. Now, the Taiping military was surprisingly well off for a peasant rebellion, complete with modern firearms and even imported American pistols for themselves. Another thing that separated them from armies at the time was that they had a large sector of female soldiers led by Huang's own sister, Xuanzhao. And no, they weren't hot, you horny little fuss.
No, never mind.
What's wrong with you? They are very attractive women.
One going west and one going north to take out Beijing and the emperor himself. The northern exposition was a total disaster, but the western campaign was much more successful.
Dang.
By enlisting the help of the Chinese river pirates and the fucking triads, they were able to take much of southern China at the time. So by now, I'm sure you're all wondering just what was life like under the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. And boy, did it live up to its name. Naturally, Hong was all about societal reform, so a lot of new rules were implemented. Some
rules.
stuff like abolishing land ownership, a collective public fund, outlawing social classes, starving the people, burning all their enemies to death. They also had some laws based off of Hong's own personal mistranslation of the Bible, like the strict separation of sexes. Now, while women were equal in Taiping society, the two sexes couldn't live together, and even married couples were prohibited from having sex.
How's that work then?
What the fuck is this authoritarian bullshit? Yeah, I'm out. I'm stamped. Now you're probably wondering how a society like this could survive more than a generation, but luckily for us, they didn't even last a tenth of that. Now the leadership of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom consisted of Hong, his brother Zhao, who was apparently a mouthpiece for Jesus Christ, and his commander Yang, who could apparently speak as God himself. Anyways, things quickly fell apart when one day Yang was like, I'm having one of those God moments. What is he saying? What is he saying? He's saying that I should be the new emperor. Those pretty ladies over there need to be relocated to the palace bedroom immediately. Dude, that's my sister. Don't backtalk to your father like that. So after that, Yang tried to organize a coup to overthrow Hong, and Hong subsequently had him and all his followers executed. Some say Yuan Zhao was also part of the coup. But hey, I guess we all have a few skeletons in our closets. In the meanwhile, the Qing dynasty slowly got its footing and, with the help of local militas, began to retake southern China. The dynasty then got its big break by, ironically enough, its own western enemies, France and Britain, who lent them army leaders like Commander Frederick Townsend Ward and Major General Charles Gordon, who led the Chinese troops on the offense. All the while, Han began to become more and more isolated, probably distracted by his husbands and concubines. And at last, the Qings finally cornered Hong in the Taiping capital of Nanjing and laid a big and slaughterous siege.
He's doing way too much.
Eventually, in 1864, they got in, only to find that Hong is already dead from, get this, eating wild vegetables outside the city.
Oh my god, bro.
Why?
If I were to die as a revolutionary,
He's an absolute idiot.
I'd want it to be from 1,000 spears, all piercing me at once, as the last of my men safeguarding my throne with a sharpened spoon, not from fucking unwashed lettuce. The Qings then blasted his remains out of a cannon to ensure that he would never have a resting place.
Dang.
Oh.
I mean,
technically everywhere
makes that his resting place.
Everywhere's his resting place then.
Pirates, triads, women warriors, and communism? What in the Kentucky Fried Fuck is this shit? Oh, Sonny, I haven't even gotten to the part where me and the boys ran to Taiwan to take it from the Japanese. Are you just off your meds or a fucking lunatic? Maybe both, actually. At the end of the day, a whopping 20 million people died. Partly because the only general convention of the day was genocide, and partly due to the fact that all the city raising led to even more disease and famine for the Chinese citizens. Now, I'm sure most of you guys watching are like, really? Just really? He turned one of the most tragic and downright disgusting abominations of a war in human history into a comedic education video? Yes, I do. I'm Samuel Drella, and...
Alright.
Not too bad. I appreciate the fact that he credited.
I mean, kind of had to. He pretty much used his template. But you know what? Not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I think he can really, like, if he gets used to it, like, he can really
get up there.
I want to say beat it next time on LA.
He can get up there, can't he? Guys, what can he do?
He can make it his own somehow. To the window. To the wall.
Where are they?
It's time to play 5v1. Anyway.
Your 5 versus my 1. I'm joking.
What's wrong with you, man?
Anyways, guys, this is.
We hope you guys enjoyed that, of course. Always good.
We've been Unorthodox Reactions.
That was
thank you for
proper
checking.
English, I promise.
Thank you for checking in with us. If you're still watching with us, we appreciate you. If you're no longer watching, we still appreciate you. And hopefully you have a good day or good evening.
Comment, subscribe, notification bell, all the good stuff. Comment, reaction, suggestions below. And we shall see you all in the next one. In a bit.